Say something.
I can't speak.
Right, well, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
And we've both had a bit of pre-episode jitters because it's been a while. We're just completely out of the run of it. So we both had to go for a pre-video wee. Because we both got a bit excited. Just like little boys go, I think I need a wee.
So yeah.
Anyway,
we're back.
Yeah.
We've been busy today.
Oh, flat out.
Doing it. Well, we're not doing it after dinner this time, are we? Doing it last thing because just busy.
Yep.
Got a lot done, which is awesome.
You say last thing. Still got some to weld.
Well, yeah. Yes, you have. But yeah.
Yes, you have been slow. Yes, you have. That was. It's like I've heard that so many times before. Yes, you still have stuff to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry to be such a disappointment, James, but never mind.
Yeah. Well, no. We've had someone else helping us this week and last week, to be fair, which has fairly made it romp through some work. Got some weeders out. Got some transplanters out.
Taking the pressure off. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gone from 6 to 1. So there's one transplanter left in the yard that's to go out. So yeah, that's a massive help. 2 have gone to. There's a weeder and a transplanter gone to Jersey, which is interesting.
That's not bad. Yeah.
No. There's a weeder and transplanter gone to between Washington and Newcastle to a customer. There's a weeder gone to Scotland. It's like the west coast of Scotland, which is so a pumpkin man. So yeah, just needs a transplanter that's going down to somewhere in Worcester, Gloucester. I can't remember exactly where. So yeah, get that out next week. So yeah, busy. Compact front boxes, a few of them going out.
Yep. And more very stuff on the way. Yeah,
keep selling a bit, which is good. Time of year, to be fair. It's just a time of year for selling that stuff. It's busy this time of year, and then it'll quieten off to nothing for
before
quite
the end of the tax year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's in fairness. Yeah, there's a lad driven from South Wales today to come and see a transplanter. So that's good of him. And he bought it, to be fair, which is good of him.
That's even better. Yeah.
I had sent him a video of it working and pictures of it, but he wanted to come and see it before he bought it, which is fair enough.
Well, that's the one that's on one of the
YouTube videos.
Promotional videos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one we used to plant pumpkins a few years ago. There's a video of you on YouTube using it, so yeah. I think Lindsay was driving the tractor and you were on the back, and so jobs are good.
Yeah, all the glamour models.
Yeah. I'm not to be seen. Nowhere to be seen.
Mr. Shaky Cameraman.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that's what's been going on.
Yeah,
recently.
busy. Trying to get as much done as possible before the job stops.
And why will the job stop, James?
Because there should be an arrival in the form of a baby.
Yep.
In the next fortnight, in theory. So that'll be...
Because you two just can't keep your eye on the ball, can you?
Yeah, last one. So it'll make a full table, which is what Lindsay years ago said. She wanted 4 children because the theory was because there's 6 chairs at a dining room table or a kitchen table. There's 6 chairs in a set, basically. My response to that was take a chair away. Or 2.
Yeah, exactly.
But look where we've ended up.
Sod the world and its expanding population and its dwindling resources.
Yeah.
I want a full table.
Yeah. So,
right.
Touch wood.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, so that'll stall the job for a bit, but
you see now, if you had a crappy little house and a crappy little table like we have,
you've got 6 chairs around your table. If you move,
none of them match.
If you move the dog cage,
yeah, we've got to dishome stuff if we want 6 people to sit around. But we've got to empty the table of all the shit that's on it as well.
Yeah,
that was another thing. I've got to beware. No more potty mouthing. Because apparently we've got youngsters watching now.
Yeah,
can we have a disclaimer at the start?
Well,
who's listening? Who's watching this? Young.
One of Fliss's mates. Really likes it.
Two old people just moaning.
Well, yeah.
What?
You're cool, apparently.
Yeah. You're not selling this, Jeff.
No. Well, anyway. So, yeah. Trying to rein in the language a bit just to
Okie doke.
appeal to a varied demographic,
Yes.
which it seems to be doing. So, yeah. We'll just do what's demanded.
All right.
So, yeah.
I shall try and behave.
You've put on the list E. coli.
Oh, E. coli cows.
Yeah.
A little catch up with your brother.
Yeah.
A bit of a bad do or something, was he?
Yeah. They've just had a bit of a bad run. And this is what I think people don't really see or don't get is like you can do everything right and you still end up in a bad spot with livestock.
Oh, yeah. Especially at
A critical
during
time.
late pregnancy. Well, all the way through pregnancy, but it's late pregnancy that really hurts because you've done everything right up to then.
Yeah.
And then there's still something out there that you can plan for it. You can even give, well, I know of sheep, certainly. You can even give them injections to help immunize against abortion, either enzootic or toxoplasma. But even then, it's not guaranteed.
No. Because you had a fairly rough time last lambing time.
Last year was crap. Something was in them. Something spread through them.
And just
about 10 days before they were due, something like that. And some of them just started just blowing up because they had an internal infection.
Right.
And it just got away of them. And it was just, blood poisoning, one thing and another. If they were lucky, they managed to get rid of dump the lambs, and they were okay.
Right.
But the unlucky ones didn't. So,
yeah.
don't know exactly what it was, but yeah, it was a bit rubbish. We've had one that I know of so far this year.
Right.
That's aborted, but that can have been. It can be something as innocuous as they've all been pushing to get their heads in the feeder, and she's had a knock.
Yeah.
It can be something just as simple as that, but it can be one of many things.
Yeah.
Everything's out there. Everything's out there, just trying to do you harm, trying to do you wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, your brother's had a bad do with, was it cattle?
Calves, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a bad run of.
If you've done all the hard work and got the baby out, got the calf out, lamb out, whatever, it's still only half a job.
Yeah, yeah. And in fairness, they're doing it with more. They've put a building up, so they've got more space this time. So you've sort of provided a better facility.
Yep.
For them to do it, and then they've ended up, just having a real unlucky bad run.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
Should we knock this off for 5? Well,
yeah.
Which will give me time to read this. Which you've been. We've never brought literature.
I know, yeah.
James, what's going on?
Well,
He sent me a picture of this,
yeah.
and I should have read it.
Well, it made interesting reading.
You see, this has been done by a proper journalist.
Yeah.
There's like researched stuff.
Yeah, and the statistics and everything in there.
Oh, he's put numbers in.
Yeah.
Heck. Making the rest of us feel bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 pages as well, not just 1, 2. 2 pages. Right, so that's Julian Melantin. Let's see. Is he part? Where does he come into it, Mr.
I don't know. I don't exactly know.
Contributor.
All right. I don't exactly know why I get that, but I get it. I think someone's put me on a list.
So you've got your finger on the pulse, James.
Well, yeah.
There isn't a tip being pulled in this country that you don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Right, so the key is he's basically saying, just give us a rundown.
He's basically saying that the wheels are falling off the alternative milk job. I didn't realise, but governments have invested a lot of money into it. businesses have invested a lot of money into it, and basically they're saying that the demand isn't there for it.
The government have invested
Yeah.
money
There's a part here, it says...
into companies to provide an alternative to dairy milk. Why am I having to say dairy milk? There is and
it says,
is.
big consulting firms, university academics who hope to turn alternatives into a revenue stream, the former from consulting projects, the latter from tax-funded government grants. Which, in fairness, that could include research and development tax credits, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's pretty interesting. So anyway, we'll go back to it's been a pretty rough time of it, to be fair, for them.
Yeah.
And so we hope that they're out the back of it now. And
but we might as well switch on to this now. You've brought some literature, James.
Yeah, I brought some literature.
Never have literature.
I had a bit of a rollercoaster this week because obviously looking on internet, you get all sorts of stuff put in front of you. So there's a chap called Andrew. I can't think of his surname. Does farm theory. He's an Northern Irish lad.
I do apologise. I can't remember his name either, but he is. Yeah,
he does some very informative.
He's very good.
Yeah,
he's very much worth a watch, and also he keeps doing these little things with Cammy Wilson.
Yeah,
and they're quite good to listen to because in some ways he's bringing his dairy theory of how to grow grass.
Yeah,
and sort of informing Cammy as to we can make this ground work for you.
But also he's very fact driven.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fact based information. So he did an interesting thing, which was using ChatGPT, asking that questions to explain the net zero agenda. Is it by 2030 or 2050? The report that's been done and produced, he asked ChatGPT to explain it. If I can, I'll try and work out how to put a link into the description of how to get to it. And I watched that. So it wasn't him talking it. It was ChatGPT harvesting information out of that report and explaining it. And it's an eye-opener. Sometimes I think, like we've said before, we live in a bubble.
Yeah.
And like you're aware of it. And in fairness, there's someone else we're going to talk about that you've been aware of it, but you're not really paid any attention. And then it hits you like a sledgehammer. You're like, oh my God, this is actually like, how have I not been paying attention to this? Because the implications of the net zero thing is that the needs to achieve it, the government want to reduce livestock in this country by 50%. And they want to convert land from food production to energy production. And it's just like, that's basically the industry that we know, we enjoy, we've been part of all our lives, is just going to be turned upside down. There's a lot of people going to lose their jobs because there just isn't going to be the work there for them. It's just going to decimate the industry.
There's two main problems that I see with that. Number one, there's only an increasing number of people on this earth.
Yeah.
And you are talking about doing away with food production.
Yep.
Essentially.
So you've got a growing population, like you've just said.
Yep.
Reducing homegrown food.
Mm-hmm. And secondly, why have modern farming practices been vilified in saying that they are so bad for the environment, and why are they? Why?
And interestingly, the number of cows has been decreasing in this country over time, but the quantity of milk that's been produced has not. Because basically, the farming practices, like you say, have innovated it to such an extent that the cows are producing more.
Yeah.
So less cows producing more milk individually to maintain what we've been producing. So the industry doesn't stand still. It doesn't sit back and think, we can cruise. They're all the time looking for new ways of improving things. Things like lactoline, things like silacrab all go towards those little incremental margins that help the job pay and make more.
Those tiny little bits add up to a big thing.
Yeah.
And year on year, it evolves.
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
You know.
Because, not only because, but the weather has a big influence on how things happen. There's so many other influencing factors that that alter the way things happen that you can't stand still.
No.
So,
but going back to the other point, there was the growing population, like you said, and the dairy cow numbers. They're staying the same, but output is going through the roof, which is, no one's sort of just doing things old hat. We are all awake. We are all trying to do things as cost effective. You'll notice my family aren't demanding me home.
Yeah, but she's uncomfortable and annoyed. So, yes. So yeah. So it was a bit of a roller coaster because there was that got me on a bit of a bloody hell. That we're going down the wrong road here, and we're being led by idiots who propose.
It's the wrong agenda. Yeah, they have an agenda and they're sticking, but it's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
How many times have we been here before?
So yeah. So basically, they want to get rid of cows. But then, in fairness, I get this magazine, which is Dairy Industries International. I don't know why I get it, but I get sent it. And there's an article in here that I read after that, which basically says that the milk alternatives, the demand just isn't there for them.
Milk, soy milk,
Oatly, all these things are just not doing the numbers that they were expected to do, and based on the amount of money that people thought they would make out of it. Big companies invested a lot of money into developing brands and alternatives. And in fairness, the part of it here says that there's taxpayer-funded government grants went into this as well, into big firms and university academics. So basically, it's all about the money. It's all about trying to create an alternative, profitable income stream from alternatives to milk. And in fairness, it's just not happening. So that was interesting. I'm not saying it's all bad, because there's some people just don't like milk, can't drink it, whatever. There is obviously a need for it.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's been massively out.
I'll be perfectly honest. Oat milk, it's not that bad.
But
I won't seek it out.
No.
But I've had some before, and
but it isn't milk, is it?
No. Yeah. No way at all should that ever have been allowed to have the word milk written on it.
No.
It is not milk. It has not come from a mammary gland, therefore cannot be. It should be called emulsion, which is what it is. It is. It's an emulsion. Milk is an emulsion, but there's no way in hell that should have been allowed to ever be called milk by definition.
Yeah.
But there has been an agenda. Yeah. I dare say that someone will have raised this point to the higher powers and just said, you can't call that milk.
Well, there's been talk.
If we want the public to buy it, we're going to call it milk.
Yeah.
And so, because the public are easily led.
So you've got two conflicting things there. There's going to be a need for animals to produce the milk that people want because they don't want the milk alternatives. And you've got net zero, this government-led mentalness that's going to...
Exactly. But we have the highest standards in the world for food production. And I would say the lowest amount of animals aren't messed about with. They're not given growth hormones like a lot of places.
Yeah.
We're not washing meat in chlorine.
No.
We're not, which is, carcinogenic for start off. We aren't allowed to. We have to stick. There are so many guidelines that you have to stick to. and it's for the good of the animal, and it's for the good of the the people that are going to have any of the products from these animals, which is lovely. But you talk about we have to also compete. It is a world.
Yeah.
It's a world market. You have to compete with whatever can be brought in.
Yeah.
They're not having to produce to the same standards.
No.
And then you're going up against them in a marketplace.
And
How?
that is only going to get worse if the number of animals is reduced. Like proportionally, our sustainability, our homegrown sustainable food, I think we're at 60%, is going to drop. You imagine if that was at 30%, the cost of food is going to go up to start with, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So cost of living's going up, and quality's going down.
Completely nonsensical. But the second point that I was going to get on to was you may well by doing this, by crippling your own little island's agricultural system, by crippling it, you may well gain some points in getting towards being carbon neutral. It might happen, whichever arsed up way you decide to count, to actually weigh this up, because I think that it's flawed anyway. However, you weigh that against what's happening in China and some respects India, South America, even Africa. You weigh it up against what's happening there. It is a literal fart in a hurricane.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
You can cripple. Let's cripple our island's industry for zero world benefit.
Yeah. It won't even register.
You look at, they are honest. I can't remember what the hell the last statistic was, but they were opening a new coal-fired power plant in China every. Christ, was it week?
Yeah.
It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I saw a chart on a map for just their CO2 out. It was just gone.
Yeah.
And don't kid yourselves, people. This is the place where you're buying everything from.
Yeah.
All this cheap crap that you're buying, and all these. I'm seeing a hideous number of Chinese cars on the roads as well.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. There's China. Everything's made in China. The batteries in your Tesla probably will have had something to do with it as well. But this is where all the energy that's going into producing all this crap is coming from coal.
Yeah.
And then we're shipping it over.
And then you think you're doing the world a favour by driving around in an electric car.
Yeah. Oh, I'm saving the world. No. You're not saving the world. You need to. There needs to be equality of standards of production, really.
Yeah.
Which there just isn't. So you're competing against that. The one thing you could do, which I have to say I kind of admire Trump for in a way, is we're not buying anything more off you if you're not producing things to a standard that we're happy about. Which that's quite sound, actually. I think it needs to happen.
It takes a spine, but I don't think any of our current electorate have any spine.
No,
by everything they've done.
A char, an absolute char, James.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting all political now, but it's not ideal.
Yeah.
What else are we going to talk about? How much time have we got to talk anyway? Because you've got your tea going cold.
Yeah, I've got.
How long have we got, James?
A while yet. So, we were saying about things that you've sort of been aware of, but not really paid that much attention to. So, week before last, there was somebody who'd been in Formula One for a lot of years, passed away. Eddie Jordan. And I didn't realise, I've watched Formula One, not religiously, but fairly consistently for years. And obviously he's been involved in that all the time that I've been watching. But I never realised what he'd achieved and what he'd actually managed to do against all odds. And so I was aware. So obviously, yeah, there's been. I think, in fairness, there's a podcast appeared on my "This May Interest You" list, and I thought, I'll give it a go. And it's David Coulthard and Eddie Jordan, and it's a bit of a win that when you find a podcast, you think, oh, get in. There's 109 episodes. It's going to take me a while to chew through that, but that's what you want because
It's going to take me a while to catch up, especially if they're still churning them out.
Yeah.
However,
Which we are going to get to the end at some point, as soon as he's no longer here. Yeah. But what a man. I've never really paid that much attention to him. And in fairness, listening to him on the podcast is entertaining to say the least. And yeah, I just think, wow, what a life and what a man. Yeah. And like, he did not do things the easy way.
I'm going to have to look into this, aren't I?
Yeah. Entertainingly, it's called... I forgot the name now. Oh, Formula for Success.
Oh, right.
So FFS.
Right.
Which, if you've got a mind, you'll realise has an alternative meaning.
I know what you mean.
But yeah, it was just, I've started listening to it. And yeah, it's just been very interesting, entertaining, an eye-opener. Yeah, so there's a lot of people out there that would. It's quite easy to try and pick the easiest route through life, but I've started to think that actually there's no satisfaction in that. There's no. You don't get a sense of accomplishment. You don't get a sense of achievement by taking the easiest route.
Imagine winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Someone's giving you what? 2 million. What are you doing, James? Oh, let's say 5 million. Like proper needn't lift a finger again.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, same thing I was always going to do. Buy a farm.
Yep. And?
Well, yeah.
You're going to take that money. Are you going to live for the rest of your life, or are you going to invest it and possibly end up working at least as hard as you are now?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't, yeah.
I couldn't. I would be the same. If someone gave me that amount of money, I'd be, right, proper sized farm.
Yeah.
Not just hobby farm.
Yeah.
And so many tractors. Nothing new, obviously. But just all the tractors that I wanted in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fleet of 90s classics.
This is where it all started, isn't it? We have a very first episode of this that we haven't published because we practiced it, and it was taking a modern classic and updating it with new like front suspension and on a 3680 Massey Ferguson to make it more comfortable and practical to modern day equivalent tractors. Yeah. So yeah, we have covered, so it's doing stuff like that, which you could do if you had the money to do it. So yeah, it's just interesting that listening to him, who he did stuff, he achieved what other people said wasn't possible, in that he built a Formula One team and competed in Formula One and won in Formula One. Granted, it didn't end all that well, but he did achieve a lot of things that other people. This is the thing. Michael Schumacher, first Formula One race was for Jordan, and then Ron Dennis came along and poached him after the first race because they realised how good he was, and basically just rounded him up to go to Benetton. I think, can't remember now, but yeah. So there's like
Ron Dennis
of Mercedes.
Yeah, McLaren, as was then.
Yeah. Yeah. He rounded him up. Yeah. Yeah.
For Benetton.
Yeah. And said,
was he working for Benetton at the time?
Must have been, yeah. And said to Eddie Jordan, "Welcome to the Piranha Club." So, wow. So yeah, that was really an eye opener. But so I'm chewing through all that lot.
Gift of the gab, he's Irish.
Oh, absolutely. And he openly says it.
Yeah.
He said that the Irish have the ability, the ability to embellish, and I think that's an understatement, to be honest. Based on some of the stuff I've been told.
What's the best way that the Irish say no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was that's been interesting because I've got when I'm doing a job like we've said that's a bit dull and you want to be like spray painting or welding or it's something you just need your mind occupying. It's nice when you find something that you can think, oh, that's going to keep me out of mischief for a while.
Having said that, I've been listening to Sherlock Holmes whilst I've been grinding
Have you?
today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's all right. There's a few nice turns of phrase in there,
Oh yeah.
but
We're going to start saying that in profit.
doubtful, my good man.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you've put on their phone doom scrolling.
Oh, that's one for another day. Don't worry.
Oh,
That's a whole thing in itself.
And baby update and buildings.
We've done the baby update,
yeah.
and I have bought a building.
Have you?
Well, just a frame, yeah.
Oh wow. Ooh, stinging a bit.
Just the frame is.
Was this new or was this second hand?
It's a cancelled order.
Oh right. Oh, you did mention this, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So got that bought.
Is it back home yet?
No.
Are you going for it, or is it?
I will do. It'll probably be after lambing now.
Right.
But yeah, I'll go for it. It's
Right.
not far away. It's
So this is
other side of Settle.
Oh yeah, not too bad. Then.
So yeah.
So this is a building that's been in planning for
A while, James. A while.
Well, you've been planning it for a while. Then you had a battle with planning to get it passed.
And then we had another go. Finally got it passed.
Yeah.
So now, and then I had a big, massive battle to be able to afford to start.
Yeah.
Anyway, got the frame, so at least we can get the frame up.
Yeah.
But first, I also need to spend $3,000 on purlins because that's integral to keeping it upright. And then, if I want to put the roof on, that's $7,000 of sheets.
Right. I thought you were going to say I need to spend $3,000 on a digger, but
I would have loved to. But what little we have, we've had to spend on the building.
Yeah.
Can't afford a digger.
Ah, rubbish.
Oh, I had one lined up as well. Lovely. Thermec 860.
Oh.
Peach. Extending, digging, everything.
What, a 3.6 type
Yeah.
Thermec? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no.
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 Not this time. You just need that lottery win to be able to do stuff like that.
True. Yeah, I know. But that's the easy way out, isn't it? It's like every time Shell says, "Oh, we didn't win the lottery again." It's too easy, isn't it?
Yeah, where's the satisfaction?
We wouldn't be happy. Wouldn't be happy. We'd have nothing to do. We'd just have to stare at each other.
Right.
It would be the end of his love.
There's a project that if one of us won the lottery, there's a project that we've been talking about for years.
Oh, sweet Lord.
That would happen.
Yes.
And that is a Baylor.
To what end? Would it happen? Would it make us more money? Or would it just be a massive sinkhole, money pit?
Well, this is interesting thing in fairness, because you do wonder how, like, big businesses that have substantial marketing budgets, is that how they make products successful? Because they can basically ram it down people's throat that hard. In fairness, this is a bit of an example of how it doesn't succeed.
Yeah, I think the best plan is, right, what's your potential customer base?
Yeah.
How many of these things realistically
Would
are you
sell.
looking at selling?
Yeah.
And then work backwards from there.
Yeah.
How many of these things can we sell? What realistically can we charge for this thing?
Yeah.
And that's your starting point.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it for that, don't bother.
No. It's basically a bale accumulator that uses wrap to hold the bales together instead of wire, bands, whatever it is. So that then you can basically create a waterproof package that would mean you could store them outside without any bother. But we've been talking about it for years, and there's always something else gets in the way, because the other thing that gets in the way is the thing that pays.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Instead of that flight of fancy
Yeah.
we have, how as if we do
Pay some
stuff on the
bills.
to-do list?
yeah, so that it earns money
Yeah.
and helps pay the bills.
There's the to-do list,
yeah,
and there's the, oh, it might be nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe one day.
The problem is that it's also, it would take a lot of time
Yeah,
and a reasonable amount of money.
yes, it would. Yeah,
And that's, yeah.
and this is where so like I said, I mentioned earlier about the R&D tax credits, where basically the government give businesses a rebate against profit or losses based on the amount of R&D they've done. And I've had money out of that job before, and entertainingly, we're meant to be getting some money out of it for Lactaline, but a product that we've developed from scratch, it's patented in the UK. Apparently, according to HMRC, isn't considered to be, well, potentially was flagged as fraudulent by the HMRC, which surely
Fraudulent.
the definition of R&D surely should be the fact that it's got a patent, because to get a patent, it has to be innovative and new.
Yeah.
No one, like, you don't get just handed a patent. You have to spend a hell of a lot of money and do something that no one else has already done. Anywhere in the world, not just in this country, but anywhere in the world, you have to do something that no one else has done.
So they've said,
well,
effectively,
it got flagged as fraudulent to start with, and then we had to resubmit it.
what keyword in there?
It's just
Or what
mental.
Mickey
But
at the far end
yeah,
has looked at it and does not understand what it is and what it does.
or doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, but so that's some of it is that big businesses can get quite a lot of money out of that to contribute towards the R&D of a product, because it will fund. Like, I'm not in a position to do it, but you can basically get people's wages paid for by using this R&D tax credit. But I don't actually benefit from that bit of it.
Yeah.
It's the cost of the materials and things like that I benefit from. So when you've got a company that can afford to put somebody on that job and say, right, your job is develop that product, we will get your a percentage of your wages will be, paid for by the government, then it's a different job altogether, isn't it? And, well, this lot will have had a substantial draw out of the R&D job, which is probably why the government are flagging everything as fraudulent, because they don't want to pay out anymore.
Well, they've done it with they haven't flagged it as fraudulent. They've just said, right, we're not accepting any more entrants into the
SFI job.
Yeah. Into SFI schemes and a lot of other capital grant schemes and everything. They've just said, nope, shut the doors.
Yeah.
That's it for now.
Which is bad, because some people were told to not enter the SFI scheme until the current scheme that they're on had run out. So now they're stuck.
Yep.
Which is, putting a lot of people in a pretty difficult position.
Well,
and I'm not saying I don't agree with any of this stuff, because I think really it just pay what the product's worth. Grants and all that lot, you can keep it, just pay what it's worth.
Yeah, if you are productive, then they kind of had farmers, they had them on a leash when they were giving them, when everybody was getting like a basic form of subsidy, simply because you had to follow best farming practices
Yeah.
and certain guides that that in essence safeguarded the environment,
Yeah.
safeguarded the animals, safeguarded. It was basic stuff that a lot of that we would kind of follow in anyway. But it did make sure that there wasn't, there was no mercenary just in it for the profit. Sod welfare, sod the rest of it.
Yeah.
Just after profit. Which, in some respects, if all subsidies are done away with, then it seems very difficult. We're getting political again. It does seem as though there is an agenda. They seem to be wanting to drive down the price of land. Whether they're trying to get more land to become available for whoever to buy. I don't know who the hell. Whether it be big business would end up buying land, and then big business can do what it likes with it. They can carbon offset or do what other airy-fairy make-believe nonsense.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, it's just madness, isn't it?
Yep.
Madness, absolute madness. But the one of the issues that you've got grants that get handed out for various different things, which sounds brilliant. But there's the money that they're handing out, and then there's all the people that are being paid and everything that's had the expenses of establishing that scheme and running it and administering it. So the money that they're giving out is only a fraction of what it's actually costing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So just sack it off.
If you did but know, the wage bill out of DEFRA will be, and Natural England and all the rest of it will be enormous.
Yeah. Because they aren't going to be on minimum wage, are they? They're going to be big money, big pensions, big
big now you've
packages.
hit on it. Civil servants and their pensions are disgustingly big. You're looked after for life.
There was a thing a while ago that the cost of the amount the government had borrowed had reduced. It was probably November time. And the reason it had reduced was because the interest rates had altered in such a way that the cost of the future pensions had reduced. So we weren't any better off. The country wasn't any better off. It was just, I was thinking, why is it? That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And then actually it's like, no, it's just that the figures have altered. We haven't borrowed less money. It's just the cost of the future expense has potentially reduced so by the time we actually get to spending that money, it's probably gone the other way anyway. So yeah, it's yes, mental, absolutely mental. But yeah, anyway, I think we've exhausted
I think
we've exhausted our.
You have to
discussion.
get back and look after 3 kiddies.
Yes, and a pregnant wife.
And I've got some welding left to do.
Yeah, not so much. Soon we've done that, won't you?
6 welds. That's all.
Yeah.
Bit
Push,
tidy,
bash,
but
bosh.
I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, leave that. Yeah, that's fair enough.
You can put your earpods in and listen to some more Eddie Jordan.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got some spray painting to do over the weekend. Get some few bits painted. A good job.
Little bits and bobs,
Yeah, won't take a lot of doing. It's just little bits to finish some jobs off, and so yeah, soon be Monday again, as always.
Yay!
And it's Monday is the last day of March, isn't it? Tuesday's 1st of April.
Don't say that because my shed still is not
Ready for lambing.
Ready to receive pregnant. No.
Is the Hurleyman back together?
Nearly.
Oh, right, that's progress then.
Yeah. Yep.
Fixed.
It'll be better than it was.
Right.
The fans now go. Before they just went.
So this is your Hurleyman tractor that the fans didn't work, so you boiled to death in the summer.
I've boiled to death for the past 2 summers, James.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which you had to take the seat out to be able to get to the fan. And most
seat out, and all the side consoles on either side have to come out because the fans are down here, one on either side.
Yeah. So it's been in bits for a few months, hasn't it?
Helmut von Spreckelhaus, or whoever designed it, wants a slap.
What's a kicking for being an idiot?
Yeah, just take it outside and give it a sound shoeing.
Yeah.
Must try harder. I can honestly understand now why, when I was researching it and reading on the internet, some people said I'd just cut my way in from the inner wheel arch.
Oh, yeah. Take the wheel off and go in from the outside.
I just cut the wheel arch out. Oh, that's where I need to be. Yoink. Done.
Weld it back in.
Voila.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe not as daft as it sounds, then, eh?
No. I think by the sounds of it, they did one. I thought, sod this. I'm going in.
Well, it'd be a hell of a bill, wouldn't it, if you were paying someone to fix it?
Horrendous. I think the fans, I got them off, is it AP Air?
Oh, yeah.
I think it is. Got the fans and some other bits and bobs, another thermostat. They weren't too bad.
Right.
But if I'd gone through SDF, oh Christ, the fans could have been £500 a piece.
Bloody hell.
Something stupid.
Yeah. And then several £1,000s in labour just to get them put in.
Horrendous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just time and effort, because how much is a main dealer lucky now?
That's definitely a topic for another time, because I've been,
£100 pop?
I think more than that now. Yeah. But definitely.
It takes earning, does that?
Oh, yeah. Done it just.
I don't mind paying for craftsmanship, expertise and timeliness.
Yeah.
But there's often you just get the feeling I'm perhaps not getting that.
Yeah.
Or you feel as though you could do a lot of it yourself. I won't be anywhere near as fast as them. I won't know, a lot of the time I won't know what I'm looking at. I don't know, if they're doing it day in, day out, they will be proficient and they should know exactly what they're doing. And there are jobs where I know myself, I can't do that.
Yeah.
My best case scenario was rather than diving into a gearbox, I will get the gearbox out and then take it to.
Yeah.
There you go, mend this, and then I'll go and
put it back in.
Yeah. There comes a hard point where I'm out. I'm not touching that.
No.
That's when I'll pay for the expertise. But I will not pay £100 an hour for someone to do very intuitive, mediocre sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like putting a new timing belt on a mocker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did the sensor go?
Touch wood. She's flying.
She's good. There you go.
Golden.
Have some faith,
like you were saying.
Have some faith. You did a good job on that.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. And
yeah, we'll be back again.
Sometime, mate. Yeah. Right.
Let's crack on.
Thank you.